All right, welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday. Um, my thought for you is that since we are entering into this really warm weather, I was joking with my husband and my about my daughter, not so much with her because she doesn't get the joke yet. But I bought her tank tops, right? And so we were joking that because it's so warm now, it's sun's out, guns out, right? So you gotta get your arms in shape. And the thought that just really came to my mind is that instead of the idea of doing things because we think we have to, right? Oh, it's summertime, I have to look this way or feel this way. But instead of always trying to be in self-improvement mode, right? What needs to be fixed or improved or worked on is actually doing things for the pure enjoyment, right? Actually doing things for the pure moment of exhilaration. If it's about working with your body, then the pure exhilaration of what your body's capable of, the strength, the resilience, the, whatever that is. But to be in a state where we're not looking to improve, we're not trying to improve this moment, but we're actually trying to actually feel what we've got and enjoy it. And that's a very difficult place for many of us, most of us maybe, to get to, a place where we're not looking to improve something. So there's a lot of times that we practice with that thought that, yeah, this feels good and I like yoga, and also I'm becoming more flexible, I'm becoming more this, I'm becoming more that, I'm becoming more blah, 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 blah. Self-improvement. Stop. Can you just enjoy where you are, what you are, how you are right now? Right. So that's what today is can you not do anything because you think you have to, but just for the sheer enjoyment of doing, sheer enjoyment of being. So comfortable seat if you're not there already. And let the eyes close, because it occurs to me, right? Like my husband and I make the joke about having buff arms in your tank top, but my daughter won't freaking care about that. She likes it because it's sparkly or because it feels good or because it's just what she likes. So can we get back to that? With the eyes closed, just feel your breath moving. As we say often in yoga, enjoy your breath. The real feeling of receiving, real feeling of being fulfilled. And that this practice is for you. This is ultimately what we forget, is not only is this practice, this yoga practice is for you. It's not for the benefit of anyone else. We say benefit of all beings, but it's for you. And through that, all beings will benefit. And beyond that, not just is this practice for you, but this life is for you. All these ideas that we're here with a purpose and a goal, and that we have to make things better, or we have to do this, we have to do that. We've got karma, and we've got this and that and all the other stuff. This life is for you. So sit with that and maybe let go of that feeling that I have to fill in the blank. I must fill in the blank. You can still do all of the things that are in you to do, but do it for you. One more deep breath. Again, enjoy it. And then as you exhale, bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands, please. And stay seated. Take your arms out wide, letter T. Good. Nice, strong fingers, so palms facing down. And then make little circles with your arms. So continuing with my joke, right, is you got to tone your arms. It's tank top weather, right? Good, for fun. Good, little circles, fast, fast, fast. The idea, though, what also comes into my head is doing a lot of these movements where we talk about toning is that the benefit is not just that you might have arms that look more defined or blah, 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 but that all of this sort of sets you up to be able to do the rest of your life more easily. Move your circles the other direction. Keep your seat as stable as you can. Keep your ribs as stable as you can, drawing those little circles, like you've got little hula hoops around your wrists that you're trying to keep going. Good. Yeah. So we do these things and we're like, oh, what am I even doing? And oh, this is making my arms sore and what the heck, right? But then later, 3 days, 3 weeks from now, when something that requires the strength of your arms feels easier to do, you say, oh, that's why. That's why I do this. Good. Come to stillness, please. Turn your palms to face up. Give a little squeeze behind the heart so you're pulling the arms wider. Good. Still level with the shoulders. Pull back. Good. And then turn your palms to face down. Extend out through the fingertips, but squeeze those shoulder blades in. And then lean to your right, almost like you're coming into triangle pose. Extend. Good. And then drop that right hand down to the floor. Let the elbow bend. If the forearm can come down to the floor, let it go there. If not, just bend the elbow any amount. Left arm over the ear. Side body stretch. Good. Reaching through the fingertips, press down through your left sit bone. Nice. Stretching out through the fingertips, so no big bend to the elbow, reach. Good, and then come all the way back up to center, arms out wide. Turn your palms to face up again. Give that squeeze of the shoulder blades behind the heart. So as you do that, if your ribs pop forward a lot, let them for a moment, and then keep the squeeze of the shoulder blades and draw your ribs back in so you feel the pressure from both sides. Good. And then turn your palms to face down, stretch out through your fingertips. Good. And then lean to your left. So side ribs move wide, 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 wide. Good. And then drop that left hand down to the floor. Bend the elbow. If the forearm can drop all the way onto the floor, let it go there. Right arm over the ear. Good. So Mark, I would move your elbow a little further away from your hip just so that you have a little bit more room to really lean. Good. And let gravity do its thing. Good. Make sure your head stays in line with your spine so you're not dropping the head forward. Good. Stretch through those fingertips. Press down through your right butt cheek. Good. And then come all the way back up to center. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. Stretch the arms up to the sky. Interlace the fingers. Press the heels of the hands up. So you're twisting, turning those baby fingers up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale. Round your back. Press the arms straight forward from the chest. Dropping the chin towards the chest. Good. And then come all the way back up. Again, reaching through the length of the arms, push up through those baby fingers, and then release the hands out and down. Nice. Come forward onto hands and knees, please. Good. Couple breaths in cat and cow. So the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Start to move the spine, inhaling to lengthen, chest forward, tail back, exhaling, curl and round, sternum in and up. Hip bones in and up. Good. Nice, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful. If you remember way back, it's only a couple months ago, but when we were entering, that sort of Lent season, I made the joke that what I was fasting from this season, or what I was tempting myself to fast from, was complaining. It's the same sort of thing. It's really a difficult thing to do because it's not just complaining outside, right? I don't like this or I don't like that. I can easily be silent and complain in my mind, right? And the complaint is, oh, I have to do this thing, therefore I'm not allowed to enjoy it. This thing isn't fun, therefore I can't appreciate, how nice it is to still have it finished. Like went to go get my car inspected yesterday and was annoyed that I was doing it on such a nice day, stealing the enjoyment of the satisfaction of having it done, right? Come back to neutral, please. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So we have this, ability in our mind to either create or be open to the experience of enjoyment that is not just, I like it, I love it, I need it, I want it, but it can be that very subtle, easeful, like, I like that weight is no longer on my shoulders. That mental load is gone. That feeling of having to do something is dissipated. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Good. Drop the right knee down to the floor, please, underneath your hip. Stretch the left leg up in line with your hip. So lift that foot up off the floor. Good, then take the right arm forward to straight, take a balance. Good, reaching, reaching, reaching. Kick your left thigh up a little higher, take your right armpit up a little higher. Yeah, good, one more breath, extend. Beautiful, nice, Emily. And then release back to hands and knees. Good. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose. Good. As though you were doing almost upward facing dog, start to lift your chest up, 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 drag back on the hands. You can even have a little bend to your elbow. So let this come into a back bend. So you're dropping your hips just a little bit. Keep your ribs drawn in, lift your chest up, 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 squeeze those upper arms. Good. And then navel to spine, lift your hips, press back, downward facing dog. Good. And then slide forward to plank pose again. Armpits over your wrist. Drop the left knee down to the floor underneath your hip. The same side we just did? No, second side. Right leg lifts up. Good. Take the left arm forward, please. Take your balance. Nice. Toes point straight down to the floor. Nice, Kristen. Good, Mark. Good. Lift that inner thigh a little higher. Lift your outer armpit a little higher. Nice, Harriet. Good. One more breath, reach, long, 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 wrist to ankle. And then release the hand and the foot back to the floor, hand and knee back to the floor. Good, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Good, slide forward, plank pose, upward push up. Again, like you're shifting forward just a tiny bit more. So tops of the shoulders towards the tips of your fingers, roll forward a tiny bit more. And then chest lifts, lifts, lifts into that back bend. So let the hips drop just a little bit. And then really continue to pull up through your side ribs, chest up. Nice, really good. And then navel to spine, back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips, press all the way back. Just working through the shoulders. Good, right leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack right hip on top of left, open inner thigh. Good, don't let that left armpit collapse. So keep that left rib cage lifted nice and high and wide. Good, and then point the right knee down towards the floor, step the foot between the hands, lunge. Inhale, both arms to the sky, high lunge. Good, interlace the fingers, press heels of the hands up towards the ceiling, deep breath in. So all the way up towards the sky. There you go. And then as you exhale, bring the arms forward, round into your back, press out through the back of your shoulders. Good. Keep your back thigh kicking nice and high. Keep your shoulders on top of your hips. Good. And then inhale the arms all the way back and up, straight up. Beautiful. Release the hands, please. Now clasp the hands at the low back. Good. Interlace the fingers again. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Hug the upper arms. Take the arms any amount towards straight. Bow inside the front thigh. Take the arms up and over any amount. Good. Squeeze that right butt cheek back and in. So you're still pushing a little wide through your left inner thigh, your left hip. Good. Nice, you guys. And then release the hands down to the floor. Beautiful. Walk both hands inside the front foot. Walk to your left until you come to the center of your mat. Straighten both legs. Good. Turn the toes. Prasarita Padottanasana. Good. Wide legs. Nice, you guys. And then you can keep your fingertips on the floor. Start to bend your left knee into a little side lunge. So move that knee. Yeah, move the pelvis over to that side. Keep the knee pointing at second or third toe. Good. And then bring it back to center again. So not the going as deep as you can just to go there, but letting yourself move from side to side. Move to the other side now. Bending the left knee or the right knee, whichever side you're on. Guess it's right knee. I said left first. Good. And then back up to center, please. Go to the first side again. I'm just going to stop pretending that I know which side you're on. Come back up to center. Go to the second side again. Side lunge. So the inner knee presses wide. Inner thighs are pressing wide. So this feeling that you're stretching through the groins. Good. Inner edges of the thighs. And then back to center, please. Good. Pause at the center. Bow deeply. Nice. Good. And then plant the hand right underneath you, please. So right underneath the chest. Take the left hand to your lower back and twist. The right hand down, left hand to your lower back. Twist open to the left. Good. Push into that right hand that's on the floor, though. So it's not a passive bending the elbow, but push into the hand. So your chest is going to lift a little higher. Good. And then you can pull back on the tops of your thighs. And you can really rotate that left rib cage open a little bit more. Good. Nice, Kristen. Awesome, you guys. And then release and switch. Take the left hand down to the floor. Take the right hand to your lower back, palm facing down. Good. Start to twist open to the right. So pressing into that left hand. So you're really taking this twist as an opportunity to get wide through your chest, right? That's the idea. So you're leaning slightly back towards the upper left-hand corner of your mat or towards the left toes. Good. And then you're really trying to stack the right rib cage on top of the left. Throat moves back. Nice. Don't let that left inner thigh fall in though. Keep it lifted and wide. Good. And then release, please. Both hands find the floor. Nice. Walk back towards the top of your mat. Right toes turn forward. Left heel spins up. Downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow to your belly, coming through knees if you need. Good. Rise up cobra 108 times. I'm kidding, just once. Good. And then release, please. Downward facing dog. Good. Left leg comes up and back, down dog split. I will say, right, if you're going to do something 108 times, is you really start to pay attention the way that you do it. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. Good. Right armpit stays lifted, right rib cage stays lifted. Good. Flex that foot that's in the air. So again, you have a fully active leg. Good. And then point the knee towards the floor. Step the left foot between the hands. Lunge. Inhale, both arms to the sky. High lunge. You're going to interlace your fingers. Press the heels of the hands up towards the sky. Good. And then exhale, bring the arms forward in front of the chest, rounding at the back of your ribs. So don't bring your chest forward. Keep your shoulders right on top of your hips, but bring the arms forward. Press back and round. Good. Nice, Harriet. And then come all the way back up, arms to the sky, pressing out through the baby fingers of the hands. Good. Release the arms out and down, and then reach behind you. Interlace the fingers at the low spine. Deep breath in. Hug those upper arms. Bow forward, stretching the arms up and over any amount. Good. And as you come forward, that back thigh kicks up a little higher. Good. Nice. Watch that your left butt cheek doesn't pop out to the left. Pull it in towards the midline. Right hip pulls forward just a little bit. Nice. Squeeze those upper arms. One more breath. Hug behind the heart. Yeah. And then release the hands down to the floor. Good job. Both hands inside the front foot. Walk back towards the center of your mat. Turn the toes. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide legs. Good. And then walk your hands forward, please, almost into a modified downward facing dog. Good. And the left hand stays just about center. You can even move it slightly more towards the center underneath your gaze, and then take the right hand to your left ankle, so reaching underneath you. Good. And again, if you can't hold the ankle, then any part of that outer leg is totally fine, but look underneath that left armpit. Good. And so these subtle forms of enjoyment are the things that I hope you can wrap your mind around, where it's not always the exhilarated thrill of something done perfectly or exactly how you like it or your favorite, but it can be this quiet kind of contentment, this quiet kind of satisfaction in the moment. Release and switch to the other side, please. So right hand plants, left hand reaches underneath you for your outer right ankle or shin, some part of that outer leg. Right, with the cobra situation, 108 cobras, right? As you learn how your body is going through each of those, how you habitually go through all of those. And there's so much in our life that starts out, maybe we don't love it, but we come to appreciate it. We come to understand it. We come to even feel that quiet kind of satisfaction that like, this is a thing that I do. And I feel myself as I'm doing it. And that's the joy of embodiment, right? I feel myself. Unwind, please, back to that downward facing dog position. And then walk your hands back in towards your feet. Good. Turn the right toes out to 45 degrees and then bend the knee again, side lunge with the toes turned out. So you can maybe go a little bit wider with that knee, go a little bit deeper. You can move your hands with you just a tiny bit. And if you want to, come up on that left heel. So rotating the sit bones towards the floor. Good. Lifting your hip points up, up, up. You're rotating your butt under to turn onto that left heel, toes up. Again, option. You can stay where you are if that's not an option or not a good idea. Good. One more breath there, again, stretching through the groins. And then slowly release, come all the way back to center. Left foot comes back to the floor. Turn your right toes forward. Good. And then turn the left toes out to 45 degrees. Bend the knee, come into the side lunge on the second side. Again, knee points towards second or third toe. So make sure that you have that alignment set well. Good. And then again, the option is to start to turn the sit bones under, lifting the front of the pelvis, coming up on that right heel, toes up towards the ceiling. Good. And then any amount that the hips can start to drop towards the floor there, go ahead and let them. Again, you're tucking the pelvis under, lifting the hip points up. Good. Nice, you guys. And then slowly come back to center, please. Turning the right toes forward. Good. Take one more breath, forward fold. Nice. And then start to walk yourself back towards the top of your mat. Left toes turn forward, right heel spins up, downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Good. Drop your knees to the floor, please. Good. Keep your, or roll forward just a tiny bit more. So again, the tops of the shoulders moving towards the tips of your fingers. And then lower down, a little chaturanga push up. So lower down, bend the elbows to 90 degrees and pause. Good. Little hug to the upper arms. And then press back up. Feel your chest engaged to do that. Good. Lower down again, bend the elbows, hugging the upper arms, but lifting the front of your arm bones forward and up. Good. Chest engaged, push the floor away. That's really what a push-up is, right? It's pushing the floor away. Lower down one more time. So this is not the part that is the push-up. Pause. Good. And then from your chest, from your back, push the floor away. Yeah. Child's pose. Good job. Three good chaturanga push-ups are worth 50 half-assed ones. It is the truth. Good. So yogic wording is we're always sort of asked to take our English version of words, right? Something that we like, enjoyment, and maybe translate it in a slightly different way. So in the text, they say that there is the path that is the mukti path, right, towards liberation. And then there is the bhukti path, which is towards embodiment. And that they are the same path. One is simply the spiral that goes up. The other is the same spiral as it comes down, but it's the same line of energy, the same line of consciousness. They're not separate from each other. And how we merge them is when we have this state of mind that says, I'm really not trying to improve what this body or this mind is. I'm trying to find out what it is. So our curiosity, our openness allows us to actually enjoy what life has put in front of us instead of always finding reasons, complaining about how it's not what we wanted. It's not what I like. Come back up to hands and knees. Good. Downward facing dog. So that's the practice, right? It's you're practicing purely for that experience of embodiment. What is this body capable of? Right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward. Step the foot between the hands, lunge. Oh, that's a weird way to say that. Drop the back heel. Baby toe parallels the back of your mat. So right foot forward to lunge. Back heel comes flat. Good. Cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Shoulders over the hips. Good. Yeah. So you're in your warrior two position. And I want you to lean, so look towards the long edge of your mat. So instead of looking over the front fingertips, you're looking straight ahead. And you're going to bow in that same direction. So don't change the legs, but bring your torso parallel to the floor, arms wide. Good. Yep, straight towards that long edge of your mat. Keep your knee pointing towards the second toe of your front foot though. So you got to still widen that inner knee. Good. Groins go back, thighs go back. Nice. And then scoop from the lowest place of your belly here. Again, send that inner right knee a little wider. Yep. And then start to round into your low back just a little bit. Drop your sit bones and then start to articulate, right? Roll your spine all the way back up to straight. Good. From your pelvis. Nice, 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 nice. Warrior two. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Take your gaze forward. Good. Left hand drops down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back. Don't get locked in your pelvis. Nice. And then bring yourself all the way back up to center, please. Beautiful. Straighten that front thigh. Trikonasana. Reach the right rib cage forward. Extend. Pause. Notice that your front knee has rolled in. Don't pretend it didn't. Widen it. So tuck that right butt cheek back in it. Good. Now let that right hand touch down to the front leg, floor, or block. Left arm to the sky. Good. Triangle pose with the right foot forward, Kristen. Welcome back. Nice, you guys. Good. And then take that left hand that's in the air behind your head and then look inward towards your belly. So round your back. Good. Yep. Let the elbow fall in just a little bit. So round into everything so that you move your rib cage back in space, right? So the roundness there softens the front of the back thigh, softens the front of the belly, softens the front of the ribs. Good. So get softer and then start to feel yourself taking the top of your left hip and lifting it up and wide. Good. And then start to draw your head back into your hand and start to open the armpit. But don't ever think that you're pushing the ribs forward. You're just opening the armpit. Good. You're drawing your throat back and you're drawing the top of that left hip up and wide. Nice. Maybe you move your rib cage back just a tiny bit. Nice, 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 nice. And then stretch that left arm back up to the sky. Good. Nice, Harriet. Nice, Kristen. Good, Emily. Good, Mark. And then bend the front knee, release both hands down to the floor, please. Good, spin your back heel up. Good, drop that knee to the floor, use a blanket if you'd like. Anjaneyasana, take both arms up to the sky. Good, interlace your fingers, press heels of the hands up to the ceiling. Deep breath, and then exhale again, round your back, take the arms forward, pulling the rib cage back, pulling the belly back, but keep your hips slightly forward, just draw your ribs back. You got it, round it back. And then take the arms back up to the sky. Inhale, chest up and open, like you're actually going to take the back of your heart between the shoulder blades. Yeah, good. And then release the hands back down to the front thigh, please. So coming into quad stretch. So hands can either rest on the thigh or block if you need. Bend the left knee, take your heel in towards your butt, reach back left hand for the foot or the ankle. Good. Nice. And again, if a quad stretch is not happening today, that's totally fine, right? Stay where you are. Beautiful. And then right arm comes up to the sky or hand behind your head. So same concept here is that you're pressing back through the back of your throat, lifting the top of your sternum. Good. So you're finding where there's a back bend that occurs just being in the quad stretch, right? Good. Lifting the hip points up, up, up. And then let your pelvis move forward. Go deeper into that Anjaneyasana lunge. Yeah. Beautiful. Release the foot, please. Release both hands down to the floor. Good. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Really good, you guys. Good. Slide forward to plank pose. Drop the knees down to the floor. Good. And then take your hands closer together. So you make a little Hershey kiss with your hands. So the thumb tips come together, pointer fingers come together like a little triangle underneath your chest. Good. Move the tips of your shoulders forward towards the tips of your fingers. Good. So same sort of push up, but this time your elbows are going to go wide. So start to drop the heart towards that Hershey kiss. Bend your elbows. Good. And then using your back, push the floor away. Good. Come back up. And then lower down again. Good. Again, chest forward. Yep. And then press the floor away. Nice. One more. Chest nice and open, lower down. Feel those armpits, feel your chest, and press the floor away. Good, child's pose. Nice job. How many different ways are there to do a push-up? At least 10. Don't worry, we're not going to do one-handed push-ups today. Good, breathe very deeply. The idea, it's not a passing comment when it said, enjoy your breath. I know most of you have heard that in some traditions or some ways that the yogis say it is that, you know, our time in this embodiment is not measured by days or months or years. It's measured by breath. They say you're born with a specific number, and when you've used them all, you're done. You don't know what that number is. And so the yogis are always encouraging us to remember that this moment is the one that matters, that the embodiment, the experience that you're looking for, that merging of the spirit with the body, or this experience with the soul, is that's happening now. It's always happening now. And if you wait for it to be tomorrow or next year, well, maybe you won't have that. I mean, that's just not the reality, but you can have it now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to improve. It's already there. Back up to hands and knees, please. And downward facing dog. And this is what we can't wrap our heads around, right? Because we are stuck in that mode of, no, I have to keep improving for that to happen. I have to keep improving for that to be real. I have to keep improving to be allowed to have that, to deserve to have that. And the yogis are like, what are you talking about? You're embodied. It means you already deserve it. You already have it. You've never been without it. What? Left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Yeah. Step the foot forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Back heel comes to flat, baby toe parallels back of your mat, warrior two. So cartwheel the shoulders up on top of the hips and find your habitual or your typical warrior two position. Good. And then again, you're looking straight towards the long edge of your mat. So instead of looking forward towards the fingers, look straight ahead. And then take your torso forward, that same towards the long edge of your mat. Good. Forward fold, parallel to the mat. Good. Again, towards the long edge, Mark, not the front edge. Yep, there you go. Keep your front knee pointing towards the second toe of the front foot though, so it still stays wide. Good. And then again, you're working through low rib cage draws in, scoop your low belly, lift those hip points up, up, up. Good. And then start to drop your tail under. So that same sort of feeling that you did in the side lunge, start to drop the back of the pelvis down as you start to curl your spine up, back to vertical. So round into the back and then uncurl back into your warrior two. Nice. Beautiful. Drop the right hand down the back leg, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Good. Try not to go back to pushing forward through the pelvis. So in the forward fold, you have no choice but to soften through the groins. So try not to go back to pushing forward and making that hard. Come back up to center, please. Good. Straighten the left thigh, Trikonasana. Extend the left rib cage forward. Reach, reach, reach. And then pause. Notice if that front knee wants to fall in. Widen it again, then big toe presses down. Left hand touches down to front leg floor or block, right arm to the sky. Good. Nice, you guys. And then that right hand that's in the air, bend the elbow, place the hand behind your head, and then round your back again. So look inward, draw your low rib cage back and in. Good. Soften through the front of the pelvis. Look towards the belly button. Good. Yeah, so the rounder you get, the more you have the ability to kind of take your left rib cage or lower rib cage in line with your left thigh, so it can move back in space. And then feel here that you're taking the top of your right hip, so that's the back hip, and that's lifting and widening. Good. And then you're starting to, again, uncurl from just your head, just the back of your throat, so your head presses back. And then your armpit opens towards the ceiling. So you're rotating, but you're not trying to push the ribs forward. Good. Head draws back, armpit opens. Nice, nice, nice. Lower ribs in line with your front thigh. Good. And then stretch the right arm back up to the sky, please. Wide through the chest. Nice. And then bend the left knee, release both hands down to the floor. Good. Spin your back heel up. Drop the knee. Use a blanket underneath the knee if you'd like. We will come to the quad stretch, so if you want to have the cushion, make sure you have it. And then inhale the arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Good. Interlace the fingers, press the heels of the hands up towards the ceiling, push out. Good. And then exhale, bring the arms forward, round into the back. Good. Pressing the arms straight out from the chest. Good. And then arms all the way back up, reach. Like the back of your heart is going to come between the arms, lift. Awesome. Nice, Harriet. Nice, Mark. And then release the arms out and down. Bring the hands to the front thigh or to a block. Coming into your quad stretch. So lean forward maybe a little bit more so that your weight is not directly on that back knee. And then bring the right heel in towards your butt. Reach back, right hand for the foot or the ankle. Good. Left hand can totally stay on the thigh if it needs to for balance. Otherwise, take that left hand either up alongside the ear, hand behind the head again, elbow wide. So you have something to remind you to press the back of your head into. Top of sternum, lifts, lifts, lifts. Good. And then try and lift your hip points up, up, up. Nice. Really good. Anchor into the ball of that left foot. Yep. Good, you guys. One more breath, lift. And then slowly release the foot, release the hands. Good job. Lift that back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Good. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need. I know you thought there might be more push-ups. Rise up, cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Just one time. Good. And then release, please. Press back up to hands and knees. Good. And then come to sit Virasana. If you have a block, you want to place it between your feet or between your heels to sit back between your feet. You can do that. You could also use a pillow or a blanket. Good. And if you don't have props and it's really just not an option, you can sit on your heels if you need to, or choose another seated position. Good. So finding your Virasana, nice long through the lower back. So you're not sinking into your pelvis, but you're staying long. You're going to bring your arms in front of you. So palms together, like a little prayer position, and then forearms together if you can. So whole hand to lower elbows together. Good. And then you're lifting your elbows in line. So you have like this 90-degree angle with the forearms or with the elbows. Good. And then you're pulsing, right? So you're lifting, lowering, lifting, 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 lifting. Good. Little movements. Good. Try not to send your arms back over your head, just straight up and down, straight up and down. So you're not changing the angle of the arms. Good. Nice. Try to keep the squeeze of the arms together. It's okay if they don't completely stay together. Again, if your shoulders are tight, it will be very hard for them to stay together. Don't make it an action of being super tense. Just press the hands, forearms together as best you can. Little tiny lift, 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 lift. Is it still fun? No. Keep going. Good. Almost there. 8 more. Relax around it. 2, 3, 4. Little tiny movements. 5, 6, 7, 8. Lift and hold. Squeeze. And release. Take the right arm up to the sky. Bend the elbow, hand behind your heart. Reach up to hold the tip of that elbow. Good. Nice. And then stretch both arms up. Bend the left elbow, hand behind the heart. Good. Yeah, so that didn't seem maybe like it was a lot, but a little bit later you might be like, why does my chest feel that? Tomorrow you might be like, why does my chest feel a little tight? Because you did 6 push-ups and some of whatever those are called. Good. And then release the arms out and down. Nice. Still in Virasana, walk your fingertips back behind you. Good. So leaning back, if you can come down to your forearms and you want to come down onto your forearms, you're welcome to do that. If you're able to come all the way down to your back and you want to do that, you are welcome to go as low as you want to go. Limbo. How low can you go? Good. Keep your shins anchored to the floor. If coming down means your shins or your knees are popping up, then you are going too far. So make sure you can keep your shins anchored to the floor. And again, it's about opening the chest. Good. So you just did a lot of contract, contract, contract. So open. Allowing the sensation of enjoyment to be something that is able to include challenge, that's able to include soreness, that's able to include being pushed to your edges. We don't have to complain about those things. Sometimes it's fun to, but we don't have to. Good. Slowly start to walk yourself all the way back up. Nicely done. Good. Take your hands forward in front of you. Come up off of your seat. You can move your block to the side if you want. And then come back downward facing dog. Good. Yes, after you're done snuggling your cat, of course. Right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good, bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the right hip on top of the left, open, open, open. Good. And then point the knee down towards the floor, take that knee forward and wide for pigeon, so right knee towards the right wrist. Good, sliding the left leg back, turning that left hip bone forward just a little bit more. Nice. Keep your front foot active in some way, front shin active, and then walk yourself forward. Take your forward fold onto your elbows or blocks, whatever you like to use. Good. So mukti or bhukti. Path of liberation, path of embodiment. It's the same path. And so the yogic practices are like those breadcrumbs that are the steps that we follow to remember that it's the same path. That it's not that you have to get through this in order to have the other. It's that by going through this, you start to comprehend what it means to never be separate from that experience of the soul, because its enjoyment, if you want to call it that, is universal. It includes everything. So there is no experience in this life, in this embodiment, that is not included in the soul's enjoyment. Our minds have trouble distinguishing that because there are so many things that we don't enjoy, we don't like, we don't prefer, make us uncomfortable. So can we acknowledge that and also not let it steal our ability to simply be satisfied that we did our best today? We made it through another moment. We made it through another moment, not just trying to get away from it, but we did it. All right, we felt what we felt. We did what we did. Hooray. So we talk about contentment, and we talk about many, many words that are in the yogic vocabulary, is that it has nothing to do with things always working out well or being pleasant. It has everything to do with being completely accepting to when things are unpleasant and not complaining. When things are not comfortable and being able to say, I'm okay, I enjoy this, I enjoy being. I'm content and full in that. Enjoyment doesn't mean I have to like it. And our language is a little limited. One more deep breath where you are, whether you like it or not. And then walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Good. And then bend your back knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Reach back, left hand for the foot or the ankle. Maybe reach back with the right hand as well, if that's available. If not, reach back with just one hand. Good. Other hand, if it's not reaching back for the ankle, maybe we'll come up alongside the ear or behind the head. Maybe it'll stay on the floor or on a block. Yep. But draw your legs towards each other with the intention or the idea that maybe you can hold yourself so steady that you can take less weight onto that hand if it's still on the floor. Nice, Mark. Good, Kristen. Good, everybody. Good. Release the hands, release the foot. Nice job. Lift the back knee, downward facing dog. I know you guys sometimes look like you just like made it through a war zone when you come out of poses like that. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push-up. Again, if you could see your faces, lower down slow to your belly, rise up cobra. Downward facing dog. It's actually part of just getting used to teaching yoga is that you recognize that the faces that people make while they're practicing has nothing to do with how they're actually experiencing things most of the time. Left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Because a lot of people look very grumpy when they're practicing. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. They look very intense and you're like, oh, they're not enjoying this at all. Then they're the ones that tell you that, oh, I love that class. I feel so good. What? Excellent, good. Point that knee down towards the floor, please. Swing that left knee forward and wide, pigeon pose, second side. Good, again, sliding the right leg back, turning that right hip forward. Nice, active front foot. And then let yourself walk into your forward fold, relaxing into the spine, letting gravity hold you. And there's something about that, right? In some poses, we get very exhilarated about resisting gravity, right? That's the strength. It is exciting. Poses like Vasisthasana, many, many others where we're resisting gravity. And then sometimes to release that effort and to give in to gravity, because that's a sensation that is equally interesting, equally enjoyable. And it comes with maybe still sensation in muscles that are tight or parts of the body that still have some physical restriction. But even if your physical pose position is limited, can you let yourself mentally, energetically give in to gravity? Say sometimes it's that moment when you realize that it's no longer serving you to try to hold yourself together. So you give in, you let yourself fall apart. And in the falling apart, you're able to move forward from a place that maybe you felt stuck in. And even this is part of liberation. This is part of enjoyment. So can you practice solely for you to have that realization that your soul is here now? And the only thing that we're doing while we're practicing yoga is trying to get the mind to just give in. Just give in and accept that that's what this is. Comfortable, uncomfortable, that's what this is. Pleasurable, painful, that's what this is. You are never not unified. You are never not in the state of yoga. But the mind can ignore that, and it does. So we practice to bring it back around. But the path that you think you are following towards your improvement, towards your enlightenment, is the exact same path that brought you into embodiment. So you don't have to go very far. You don't have to improve. You just have to understand. And whatever we do that, benefits the body, absolutely do it. But maybe without the thought process that without doing those things, you are somehow less. Just the thought of, can I experience everything I can be? Because it's fun, not because I have to. Because you wouldn't be completely you if you didn't. You wouldn't know what you is if you didn't. And then it would be silly, right, to spend all this time in embodiment and then, be done with it and be like, so what do you experience? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Complained a lot. One more deep breath. Enjoy it. And walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Good. Moving towards the quad stretch, please bend your right knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. Right hand reaches for the foot of the ankle. Left hand can reach back as well if that's a possibility for you. Otherwise, that left arm can come up alongside your ear, hand behind your head, or if it's staying on the ground today or on a block, Just see if you can hug the legs together, squeeze the legs together, and take a little bit less weight onto that hand. So there's a feeling again of lifting through the chest. Good. Really beautiful. Chest up, chest up. Really nice, Mark. Good, Kristen. Good, Harriet. You got it. Nice, Emily. And then release the foot, release the hands. Good job. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Look forward between the hands, please. Step or jump your feet forward to your hands. Good. Separate the feet nice and wide. Turn your toes out. Come into squat. Good. Drawing the elbows into the inner knees or shins. So you're pressing wide, and then chest lifts, chest lifts, chest lifts. Good. And then release the hips down to the floor gracefully. Find your way onto your butt. Good. Feet come forward in front of you. Yep. Feet flat, hips width apart. Take your hands back behind you, fingers pointing towards your heels. Good. So hands can be as wide as they need to be. If you need to turn the fingers out slightly, that's fine. Just do it only to the amount that you have to. And then bend the elbows just a little bit. Good. Hug the upper arms. So bend your knees, Kristen, and plant your feet. There you go. And then lift your hips up. Reverse table, please. Nice. Weight into the balls of the feet. And then tricep push-up. So bend the elbows, dropping the hips towards the floor just a little bit. And then straighten the arms, lift the hips back up. Again, like the back of your heart is rising up between the arms. And then bend the elbows, drop down. Good. Press back up. Good. A couple more times. Lower down, bending the elbows. And then lift back up. Keep your feet rooted to the ground. Try not to lean more weight onto your hands. Lower straight down. Bend the elbows. Good. And then rise straight back up, trying not to let the weight rock back and forth. One more time. Lower down. Good. Keep weight on your feet. And then press back up. Nice. And then release the hips down to the floor. Straighten the legs out in front of you. We've got to make sure we get all sides of the arm. Sorry. Take the arms up to the sky. Nice straight legs. Good. Flex your feet. Excellent. And then bow forward. Nice smiles. Good. Good. You guys forward fold, Emily. Nice. Wherever you are holding on the legs, it doesn't matter where, but have some sort of something to hold on to. And then lift your chest. So get a little longer through your spine. So lift the belly, lift the chest. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. And then bend your elbows out wide and drop yourself deeper into your forward fold. Good. And then walk yourself all the way back up. Nice, you guys. Good. Bend your right knee, please. Bring it in towards your chest. Step the foot over your left thigh. And you could stay here or bend the left knee as well, bringing your heel towards your right butt cheek for half Lord of the Fishes, Matsyendrasana. Good. So either way, you're bringing your left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Right hand comes up to the sky for a moment. Actually, let's do it this way. So change that around. Because I feel like I just said it in a really bizarre way, not the way I wanted to. So take your right hand behind you for a second, right hand behind you, and use that hand to lift your spine longer. That's what I wanted you to do first. Then take the left arm up to the sky. Now take it into the twist, either hooking the elbow to the outside or hugging the knee in, but don't lose that length on your spine, all right? So try not to fall backwards into the twist, all right? Stay lifted through the lowest part of your back. Good. Nice. Low navel draws in. Feel as though as you're twisting, you are also pressing down and wide through your sit bone. So it's like you're trying to take your pelvis down as you are lifting your ribs wide. Good. One more breath. Nice. And then unwind the twist. Don't change the legs, please. Just take both hands to the outside of your left hip. Yep. So you're just a little counter twist, we call it. So just fingertips on the floor, looking over the left shoulder, moving the ribs in the other direction. Don't let that right butt cheek pop up. Keep it down. Press it down. That's it. Good. And then come back to center, please. Unwind the legs. Good. Legs straight out in front of you. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Bow forward. Paschimottanasana. Again, reaching long from the lowest part of your spine. Extend. Nice. Good. And then walk your hands all the way back up. Release. Good. Twist on the other side. So bend the left knee. Yes. Cross it over the right thigh. Good. And again, this is option one. You can stay here or bend the right knee as well. Take your heel towards your left butt cheek. So you'd still be able to feel both sit bones on the floor. And then the left hand comes back behind you, just behind your hip. And again, use that like a little kickstand. So don't drop your weight into it, but use it as a way to lift through your lower spine. Good. Right arm up to the sky. Good. And then begin to take your twist, either hooking that right elbow to the outside of the left knee, or you can use the arm to squeeze the knee in. Either one works. Good. But try to stay as lifted as you can. So that left hand that is behind you, again, is pushing into the floor to keep your spine lifted, your spine lengthened. Good. Both sit bones rooted down. Nice. And even here, you can have the sensation that you are moving, rotating from your rib cage. The shoulder blades soften towards the center of your back. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Good. And then release your twist, please. Taking both hands to the outside of the right hip, so counter twist. Keeping the left butt cheek down on the floor. Good. And then bringing yourself back to center, please unwind the legs. Take both legs out in front of you. Straight legs, flex the feet. Inhale the arms up to the sky. And exhale, bow forward again, extending through the lower spine. Paschimottanasana. Good. And then slowly release, walking yourself back up again. Good. So bend your knees again. Take your feet as wide as your mat. And then you're going to drop both knees to the right. And then walk your torso around, same direction. So walking around to the right until you face the back of your mat. Come on down to your forearms, facing the back of your mat. Good. Nice. So often this twist can be done, of course, with a bolster or a pillow or something like that. But there's also something nice about just being in the position and letting your spine be where it is, letting gravity be where it is. Good. So pressing into the forearms. Yeah, drawing the shoulder blades down wide onto the back. Just breathing through the length of your torso into the outer hips. Good. And let your breath continue to be really long and deep. Nice. Then one more breath. And slowly find your way all the way back up, coming back to where you started. So sitting on your butt, feet out in front of you, as wide as your mat, bend your knees. Good. Drop the knees to the left. I'm giving extra instructions because Kristen just came back to her mat. And then you're walking around same direction to the left with your torso so that you're going to face the back of your mat, coming onto your forearms. Good. And again, just feeling where there is a ability to breathe into the length between your armpit and your hip. Breathe the length of your thigh. Breathe the wideness of your chest, your upper back. Shoulders soft away from the ears. So again, you can get into really pushing through the arms here and hunching your shoulders and making this position more difficult. Or you can let your chest get wider. Let the arms settle into the shoulder socket. Mukti and bhukti, liberation and embodiment, intertwined. You're liberated when you don't feel that embodiment is a chore. When you're not always looking at, oh, I have to do this, that, or the other, but instead, here I am, doing it. Even the things that maybe I don't like, I can feel that subtle layer of appreciation for the challenge, for the effort, for what it's like to acknowledge that being sad or being frustrated or being angry or upset doesn't make this experience less. It's part of what makes this experience what it is, more. We don't have to like those aspects or those moments, but we can appreciate how it's intertwined with what we do like. And that you wouldn't be you without those emotions. This practice is for you, and there is nothing in this world that can make you less. The only thing that can make you less is your own mind. One more breath, turning the ribs towards the floor. And then slowly release, come all the way back up. Good. As you come back to face the front of your mat, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Let your knees drop wide. Baddha Konasana. Good. Forward fold, however you'd like. If you want to hold the ankles, hold the ankles. If you want to walk your arms forward, walk your arms forward. And softening the shoulders away from the ears. Good. One more breath to again feel the wideness, the long length of your spine, both length and width. And then walk yourself all the way up out of your pose. Nice. Take the feet forward in front of you. Find your way onto your backs. Good. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Good. Just a couple of breaths in and out of bridge. So arms straight alongside your torso. Good. As you inhale, lift the hips up. Take the arms up alongside your ears. Reach. Good. And as you exhale, release the hips, release the arms. Nice. And just do that a couple more breaths. Inhaling, lifting the arms. Make it a full body stretch. And then exhaling, a full body release. Good. A couple more times. Nice. Next time your hips find the floor, let them stay there. Good. Pause for a moment. Let the shoulders relax. Let your butt relax. Good. And then draw the knees in towards your chest, please. Come into happy baby, drawing the knees wide, reaching for the ankles or the feet. Good. Stacking the heels in line with the knees. Good. Relaxing the shoulders. So here again, you can get wide through your chest, or you can let the shoulders hunch up and collapse, right? So draw wide, even if it means that you have to hold lower on the leg. Good. And then take the right thigh on top of the left, please, wrapping the inner thighs, outer shins. So taking the legs into what looks like eagle pose. Take the left arm, so don't hold the ankles. Instead, squeeze the shins against each other. You got it. Left arm comes over top of right in front of your chest. Garudasana, eagle pose on your back. Good. Letting your knees move away from your belly just a little bit more so that there's that sensation of the back of your sacrum, tailbone rooting down to the floor. Good. And then don't let your hands fall onto your face. There's a lift of the forearms. Draw the arm bones down and into the chest. Yes, really good. One more deep breath. Feel everything. The hug of the forearms, the openness of the chest and back. And then release. Take the arms to the sky, legs to the sky. Good. You got it. And then switch to the other side. Left thigh crosses over top of right. Bend the knees, press the shins together, and then right arm comes over top of left in front of your chest, wrapping the forearms. And then move the knees away from your belly just a little bit. So again, you find that lowest part of your spine finding its way towards the floor. Good. You got it, Kristen. Just the arms too. Right arm over top of left. There you go. Nice, you guys. Arm bones drop in and down towards the floor. Good. So this is embodiment, right? Fully in the pose, fully in the moment. Liberation is the moment you let the effort go. One more breath. And then release, arms to the sky, legs to the sky. And it's the same you that experiences both. You're never separated from that. Good. Hug the knees in towards your chest, please. Squeeze. And then stretch the arms out wide, scoot your hips over to the left, drop your knees to the right. Good. You're always welcome to use that hand to help anchor the knee if that feels good. Right hand to outer knee. Good. And then come back to center, please. Scooting the hips over to the right, dropping the knees to the left. Good, and then bring yourself back to center, please. One last hug of the knees in towards your chest. You can bring your forehead up to meet the knees if you'd like. Squeeze. And squeeze internally, so navel to spine. Squeeze your organs. Good. And then release. Good. Taking the legs out in front of you, arms alongside you. That was nice, Mark. Very artistic. Turn the palms up. And let yourself start to dissolve. Giving in to gravity, giving in to spaciousness, giving in to no effort, into emptiness. And by giving into that, we also give into joy and fulfillment. We give into expansion, relaxation, relief. They're one and the same. In yoga, we say instead of there is just one, we also say there is not two. So there's no question. Dissolve into that where there is no question. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Let the body begin to stretch and move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. Taking a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. And just for a moment, feeling how the breath rises on the inhale, or feels like it's rising from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. On the exhale, we can follow the breath on that downward path. It's the same path, down and in. One more time, inhaling, rising up. And exhaling, down and in. And your attention is on that space of the heart, which is where that upward action, that downward action meet. And if you're centered right there and you can't tell, are you going up or are you going down? Doesn't matter, because it's the same path. It's the same place that you arrive at. And this is what we practice for, is to just keep arriving at this one place where embodiment and liberation are the same, where we experience that sense of freedom and expansiveness in this moment as it is. And we do that by remembering that you practice for you. This practice is for you. This life is for you. So maybe rewrite or erase or change that thought process that thinks that it's for somebody else, that you have to improve, do better. There's nothing more to do. It's just arriving here where this is enough. You are enough. Where there's not two, there's just one. There's not a soul and a body, there's just one. Not two. You are never not in a state of yoga. Close the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week until I see you again. So